If you're a beauty lover like me, then most likely you have quite a bit of products sitting in your collection that at one point you just had to get your grubby little fingers on them, and now they're just never getting any love. I pulled out a bunch of products that at one point I had to have, was so excited to own, and just haven't been using, and today we're gonna shine a spotlight on them, and this is the look that we came up with, and I really do think that it came out good. So yeah, if you want to see how I got this look using a bunch of really good products that have just been sitting around unloved, collecting dust, please just keep on watching. So we're going to be starting out with the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. There was a time I honestly thought I could not do my makeup without putting this moisturizer on first. It really is an amazing moisturizer for under makeup. I just have started really to gear towards using milky toners as my moisturizer before makeup. And I really fell in love with the Dr. Dennis Gross Vitamin C moisturizer. So now my Tatcha just sitting there lonely. But not today. Oh, I forget how pretty she feels. Just a really nice moisturizer. When this Danessa Myricks Balm came out, I remember my local Sephora did not have this in stock. So I actually put my two daughters in the car and we drove to like a Sephora that was about half an hour, 40 minutes away in the middle of traffic to get this Danessa Myricks Balm. And she was well loved, and actually, even though it doesn't seem like a balm product would provide like mattification to help keep you matte throughout the day, this balm really does do that. It dries down to almost a powdery finish. I think it might even be called the balm powder, blurring balm powder. They also have these in skin tone shades, which I did pick up one of those as well. And it comes with quite a bit of product too. So this is gonna last you a really long time. For sure, one of those products that I had to have. The Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I remember listening to people rave about this product for the longest before I finally decided to go get one. And it's not that I hate her, it's just that I never get any use out of it. But we're gonna use it today to do like a little glowy step under our foundation. Like, I know I've seen people slather this on. Some people even use this as a foundation. But for me, it will go Tin Man real quick if I go too heavy-handed with that. But as you can see, it does provide like a pretty glow. So for complexion, I have two products, and this is kind of funny because, so I picked up the Huda Easy Blur, which was one of those products that I had to have. Everyone was raving about this foundation, and it is a good foundation, but I picked it up too light. I think I got mine in this Leches, I'm not sure, 320. And then I picked up the Haus Labs foundation too dark. Now, I've tried to match myself in the Haus Labs foundation several times. I ended up keeping this one, but it is quite dark for me. This is 330 medium cool. I'm also not sure why I got a cool tone, but this definitely doesn't pull cool on me. If I mix them together, they do a pretty good shade match. I just have not been reaching for these, but they're both really, really good. So I'm gonna take a little bit of each. So I think that's pretty decent. And together, those are a really nice combination. They both have a solid medium coverage. This is the LYS bronzer, and what happened for me, I do truly enjoy the formula of this. It's very blendable, it's very creamy, but I just don't like this triangle delivery system. I'm just not a fan of that, and so I just don't reach for it. But I was super excited to get my hands on her, and she is really pretty, and I think, you know, a lot of people's kind of go-to cream bronzer. Does anyone like this triangle thing? Just not my thing. Stamp this in with our Rare Beauty brush. It does blend really easily. Like, you barely have to do anything and she blends right in. My husband is working on trying to fix a leak that he found in the walls. So he looks frustrated but also really happy because he thinks he found it. So high hopes. Okay, so next up we're gonna go in with the Bobbi Brown color corrector. I wanted this so bad. I was like, I need this to cancel out the hollows and my under eye. And now I've just gotten to a point in makeup where I have gotten lazy. I just want something quick, something simple that makes me feel cuter for the day. I don't always go all out. And so I just haven't been reaching for a color corrector. You can see she was well loved in her day. And all I use this for is those little hollow areas under my eye. I don't like to layer too many things up under my eye area. Not a cute look when you're in your 40s. Now, like I said, I am in my lazy days of makeup, and so I don't really spot conceal. I kind of just leave my dark spots to shine. But I used to go in all the time and spot conceal with my NARS, and I have several dark spots going on with me this month. I have been testing out a lot of skincare, and I think my skin has been giving me a lot of thank you gifts, but it's a good way to test coverage. So I've got a couple more on my cheek. I'm gonna leave those spots that I just covered up for a second to just kind of dry down a little bit while I do the rest of my concealer, and then we'll go back in and tap them out a touch. And for the rest of my concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Couture. This was like my ride or die. I used every day. I do feel like I went a shade too light with her, but I still love her and truly enjoy this formula. But I have been cheating on her with the Estee Lauder and the It Do It All concealer, and I just have not reached for my coffee. Today we're gonna give her the love that she deserves. Oh, he fixed it! Yay, babe! I was telling the kids, like, because my husband, when he turned off the water, he was like, oh, if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow. And they were like, ooh, grandma does that. Okay. I feel like it's such a pain to try to cover your dark spots. Like, just let them do their thing. I don't think anybody cares about our dark spots but us. No, I used to care a lot more now. The Rare Beauty blushes. These were all the rage. And actually, they were all the rage for a long time before I ever even bit the bullet and tried them out. And then I just never use these blushes. I just use other things. I do think people over-exaggerate on how pigmented, but they're definitely pigmented. I mean, see that? Like, a lot of people say, 1 dot! And like, but I can go in with, look, we did 2, I'll do 1 more. And even these minis will last you forever. And they are super pretty. There is a ton of different shades. They're long lasting throughout the day as well. They work well with other products. I mean, they are really good. It's an awesome formula. She's just gotten forgotten about. Okay, so that's super pretty. This is on the top of, like, I had to have this powder. This was one of those ones that I had FOMO, that I was gonna miss out on the best face of my life if I did not try this powder, and now it is just sitting there, never used. I have other powders, actually drugstore powders that I reach for above this one, colors, and I really love this peach shade. Actually, these 2 peach shades I would mix together. Use those for under my eye. They're beautiful to set under your eye. It's just a really nice powder. But they don't even make this original version anymore, so I'm not going to use that one today. I also have the Laura Mercier powder. This was that powder. This was everybody's ride or die powder. Then when I ran out of my first one, I was like, oh, I have to have another one. Like, I can't be without my Laura Mercier translucent powder. You can see, you can use this to set under your eyes and set your full face. And I like a powder that I can do both of those with, because a lot of times I'll use a separate powder for under my eye and for the rest of my face. But this is one of those powders that I think works beautifully for both. It's a Florida friendly powder. It'll help you last throughout the day. So it is going to help set your makeup and prolong your makeup a bit, in my opinion. This is with the powder and without the powder. It's not going to be a blurring powder. I think that's another reason why I tend to reach for other ones, because now I really enjoy a good blurring powder. But it's a great powder to kind of meld everything together. It's never gonna look cakey. You can layer it up. You can use it as a touch-up powder. They do have a bunch of different shades, and this is the translucent one. I do have a mini of the honey one as well, and that one is pretty as well. We're gonna do a little sandwiching with our setting spray, and this is a setting spray. Again, just one of those products that was a staple in my collection. I would pull out all the time. I've purchased multiple times, and then it just gets forgotten. Anyone else Google over these YSL mini clutches, these YSL mini couture clutches with pretty packaging? It's so pretty. I'm in my black and gold era. Like, I fought the urge on this one. I fought it. I was like, no, I'm not getting one of those. I don't need one of those. I have plenty of eyeshadows. Clearly I lost that fight. But I will say now, I think that the reason that I don't reach for this very often is because of the shade. And what happened was I didn't purchase it, and then they went on sale. But I got a little catfished by Sephora, and I hopped on, so excited. I picked out the one that I wanted. I put it in my cart, just to find out that not all of the shades were on sale. So there were only a couple that were on sale, which limited my choices. And this was one of the ones that I had. And since I had never really tried the formula before, I said, you know what, I'm gonna just stick with one of the ones that's on sale. So the formula itself is beautiful. The mattes are so soft and so blendable. I do think that the metallic pop shade, the special shade in mine, is a little lackluster. I feel like some of the ones in the other quads are prettier. And yeah, it's just a simple basics like neutrals, and we'll do a really pretty eye look with this today. Like I said, it's pretty. I just never reach for her. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure. I think it is a shade thing. I think maybe if I had a different shade, I would reach for it more often. I'm going to go in with that mid-toned, kind of warmish brown. But they're very, very pretty and very blendable. Very user-friendly shadows that aren't gonna go muddy on you even when you use 2-3 of the colors. Like, they play really nicely together, and I don't have a bad thing to say about the eyeshadow formula. If I had to ask myself that question of, is it worth it? Is it worth the money? I feel like if you want to treat yourself to something nice that you're gonna have for a long time, and you know, really maybe pick out a shade that you're gonna get a ton of use out of, this is a nice addition to your collection. I wouldn't say it's a must-have like I thought it was gonna be. I'm gonna go in with something smaller, and we're gonna tap into both the dark one and the mid-toned one. I'm gonna take that on my outer V. That dark brown shade is hella pigmented, so I'm just gonna be very, you can always add more, you can't take it away. So I'm just gonna start out really light-handed. I think I might have had a little bit of glitter on this brush actually. Don't forget to tap off when you're using this palette or you're gonna end up with it all over your face. And I'm not one who minds fallout. I think that powder is powder. It's like asking a dog not to bark. Like powder is going to be powder. You see how you can still see that mid-tone brown that we used, and then it gradiates down into the brown, and it doesn't, I don't believe, like it doesn't get muddy. You can still see the individuality of each shadow. Now I'm gonna go in again. I'm gonna take just that darker brown and I'm gonna just smoke out my lower lash line the tiniest little bit. Okay, super pretty. And I feel like if you wanted to just do a quick matte everyday eye, you could do what I did just now, take that beige color and give yourself, you know, like a matte inner corner. And that would also be a really pretty everyday look. For today, we are gonna go in with that special shade. And I find I like it much more with a spray. I just feel like it shows up more. So I'm gonna tap into that one and get a good amount of it on my brush. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that Fix Plus and spray the brush. And then I will show you how pretty this is. Now, I do think that, like I said, some of those other metallic pop shades I think are a lot more wow, but this one is not terrible. See that? It's like a gold champagne kind of shade. I'm just gonna pull that up a little bit. You see that? And then I'll take a little bit more on my finger and tap it on just to intensify it, because there's already a little bit of that tackiness from the Fix Plus on my lid. It is super pretty. I'll do the same thing to the other eye. For my inner corners, I'm going to go in with this Champagne Pop, like Becca little highlighter stick that I was so excited to get because, I don't know, I just remember like, oh my gosh, they made Champagne Pop into a little, and it is like super easy to do your inner corners with. You just, like, that's how easy it is. You just pop it in your inner corner, and it is, I just never reach for it, but it's a really nice product. Forgot how much I like that. As far as eyeliner, I'm going to go in with a little bit of this Huda Beauty eyeliner. Now, for a long time, I was on the hunt for the perfect eyeliner, and this is one of the ones that I was super excited to get and have my hands on, and I just never really reach for eyeliner a ton these days. I'm going to go in with just a little bit and smudge it out on my upper lash line. Not a ton. This is a formula that does dry fairly quickly, so you're going to want to smudge it out and definitely work with one eye at a time. Because once it sets, it sets. Like when she's there, she's there. It is a really nice formula. I would say on the waterline, this one does tend to kind of goop up on me if I try to wear it at my waterline. I do remember that. So, and then I'm just going to do the other thing, same thing to the other eye. So for as far as mascara goes, I didn't really have a mascara that I don't reach for. I kind of tend to like open my little mini mascaras and go through them, and then I'll try out some other ones, and I usually have a blue mascara open. But this was something that I used to love that I never reach for, and this is the Essence Lash Primer. And I honestly do think that this does something. It does help to add length and volume to your lashes under your mascaras. Again, just with the laziness, I haven't been like going with extra steps in my makeup, but I do think that this helps. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this primer. Ooh, I got one of those lashes that is sticking straight down. Then on top of that, I'm going to go in with an Old Faithful. This is the L'Oreal Telescopic, which I have not used in a while. My daughter really, really loves this mascara too. It's like ninja makeup. So next up we have bronzer, and this is just one that I just have not been reaching for. So a few months back I did an Ulta haul where I picked this up because for years I have been curious about the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I really did enjoy it. It's a beautiful formula. And I was like, oh, this is what all the rave is about. Now I know why everyone loves this bronzer. And then I never touched it again. Like, I used it a few times and then it's just been sitting there. So we're gonna play with her today. This is a little bit warmer, and maybe that's why I don't reach for her as often, because it is a little bit warmer than I usually go for in my bronzer. But we're gonna go ahead and bronze it up a little bit for today. Make sure you tap off a little bit and use, at least I suggest using kind of a more soft bronze, nothing too dense. And then you end up with a really soft, kind of blown out finish, and I think it's really pretty. I wish I could reach for the blush that actually inspired this video, but again, this shade just doesn't go, so we're not gonna reach for her today. But this is the Haus Labs blush, which again, I had to have this blush. This is a really great formula. Fire Moon is a beautiful shade, and she's just sitting in there and never getting any love because I've found other things that have been using more. And super pigmented on the Haus Labs blushes. So pretty. And looks really nice over top of that Rare Beauty blush as well. I really like that. So for highlighter, now I had to think about this one because I was like, what's a highlighter that I really had to have that I don't use for? And the one that really, other than if I would throw this one on, the one that was coming to mind for me is this Charlotte Tilbury Facegasm palette, which I had to have. They've actually re-released this now, and was obsessed with this product. But this highlighter is really pretty, and I just never, even when I was actively using all of the other parts of this face palette, I never really played with the highlighter. So we're going to show her some love today. Her lips. Now, I forgot to prep my lips earlier. I was going to throw on this Paula's Choice because I have just, since I've gotten this, found so many lip product, or found a lip product that I really love by CosRX, and I just have been ignoring my other ones, and this one was one that I had to have. I saw Nikki LaRose raving about this one, so I ran out and got it, and now I should have used the Fenty Traced Out liners. Everybody, I feel like, was so excited when these liners came out. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Peanut Butter, line my lips. Now these are super creamy. I do feel like I have lip liners that are longer lasting, like the Makeup Forever. I really love that one in Endless Cacao. Did anyone else used to like obsess over these Charlotte Tilbury wands? Let's throw just a tad of this. The last time I used this, it gunked up on me. Oh my gosh. I'm just kidding. But since we're using stuff that we never show love, I have not pulled this one out in a hot minute. Even though it's pink, we're gonna put it on today. Okay, and now that that lip liner has had a second to dry down a bit, I'm gonna go in with the old school NYX Butter Gloss. Now, gloss is just something I'm always trying new glosses. I feel like I always have a ton of them open at any given moment, so a lot of them do get forgotten about, and this is just a tried and true beautiful gloss, beautiful formula, a million different shades. This is the one in Praline. Really pretty. Smooth like butter. And then just for a touch of sparkle, we're gonna go in with these Maracuja. This is the Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. Now this one I had to have, and then when I got one, I loved it so much I had to have more, so I went out and got a couple more shades. The Pump Her Up is one of those click pens, and we'll just add a little bit. Just for a little. Okay, and then I am going to finish off with just a touch more powder, which I like to do at the end. And to touch up my powder, the Blend de Faux. Does anybody remember this? I remember thinking, if I don't have this to do my powder, no, the world's gonna stop turning, something bad's gonna happen. I don't know, like, did I walk under a ladder? Like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I remember that I absolutely had to have this Blend de Faux thing, and now I just use my Sephora puff. I never ever like reach for this thing, but we're gonna use her today. I'm just gonna touch up our powder. Lock it down. Finish off with a little bit more of our Fix Plus. Okay, so that is our full face of makeup that I had to have, that I just never reach for, and I love the way that it came out. It's not that these products aren't good products, in fact, quite the opposite. Maybe I should do these shop my stash type looks more often, so I can really kind of get use out of the majority of my collection instead of just always focusing on what's new and the latest thing and not get into the rut of using the same things every day. So it was really nice to kind of revisit some of these old favorites and remember why I loved them so much. And yeah, so if you enjoyed today's video at all, I would truly appreciate it if you would take a quick moment to like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.